Welcome to this month's edition of Healthy Living in Baton Rouge. I'm Colette Barrett and I serve as your host for the Mayor's Healthy Cities Initiative, a program sponsored by Mayor Holden that brings our partners from Healthy BR to share information to the community at large. And we're excited today to have Melissa Lupo with Pennington here with us today. Not only are we going to talk about Docs Dash, which is a program that they're sponsoring, but how our corporate partners can get more involved in employee wellness, and people in the community, how you can find out more about participating in fantastic studies that are being conducted at Pennington. So thank you, Melissa, for being here with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Have you recovered from the Family Fit Day in April? Everybody was so.
It was nice. It was a very nice event.
It was a great event, great event. So tell us a little bit about Docs Dash and why Pennington is so excited about bringing this to the community.
Right, so Docs Dash is only in its second year. It's one of our new signature community events. It's a way to bring families together. So we want to pass fitness on generation after generation as part of Healthy BR's initiative. And we're doing that through a featured 5K and 1 mile fun run. So Docs Dash is Saturday, September 26th, and we hope to have many families come out and cross the finish line together.
So I think that's a real important aspect, because when we have visitors that come on before and they talk about their 5Ks, it's serious runners who are out there making their times to go do marathons. So this is truly a family-focused event.
Correct.
Very good.
And we'll have all levels of fitness. So if you want to run competitively, you are welcome to do so. But the idea is to train as a family and walk or jog across the finish line, and everyone receives a finisher medal. So it's all about achieving family fitness together.
Okay, and so how would one go about registering for this?
Sure, so we have a website, www.pbrc.edu/docsdash. Simply go to our website, click on the registration button, and you can choose to run the 1 mile fun run or walk it. You can also choose to walk, jog, or run the 5K. And if for some reason you're out of town that day, you can't make the event, we also have a virtual 5K option. You can register, and we understand that you won't be able to make it, but you'll still get a goodie bag.
Oh, okay. So is there a fee to register for this?
Correct. So it's $15 for the 1 mile fun run and $25 for the 5K. But you have to register before September 13th or the price will go up.
Okay. So if you're interested in participating, you need to go on the website now.
Right.
And do your family registration. Now it's for $25 for the entire family.
Each person.
Okay. Oh, each person?
Yes.
So if I've got 4 people in my family, I need to be prepared to spend $100.
Right.
Okay.
We also have several community events going on where we do promo codes. So we give $5 off the registration here and there. So look for us in the community. We're at Alexander's Market frequently. We're also at Varsity Run events, Happy's Run events. So if you come out and visit our booth, we'll give you $5 off registration.
Okay, well, every little bit helps.
That's
I'm
right.
Sure. Okay, so this is a way for Pennington, our research, arm, to get engaged in the community and to begin to do that generational movement of exercise across the continuum. What are some of the other opportunities that you all have that are available for people in the community to come out and learn more about?
Right, so we'll have our scientists there on race day. We'll have lots of information about our different trials going on. So we have pediatric trials, we have trials for individuals with diabetes, and we also have them there ready to answer questions that you may have about their own personal health and wellness goals. So we want to bridge that gap between the walls of Pennington and the community. Come in, meet our scientists, and let them help you reach your health and wellness goals.
So that's really important, to begin to educate, to learn, and to have the family as a unit begin to exercise more. So what are some of the tips that, say, our family members here watching may not be able to come out on the 26th?
Right.
26th. And to exercise and participate, but really truly want to understand and learn more. What can they begin to do in their own home and their own family to begin to integrate exercise as a part of their family life?
I'm glad you asked that, because last year we received several emails in our Docs Dash inbox about, I'm not a runner, can I do this event? How can I train up to walk a 5K and cross the finish line with my grandchild? And so this year we came up with an 8-week training plan. It started on August 3rd, so it's not too late to join. You can go to our website, and when you get to the Docs Dash page, simply click on training plans, follow along the 8-week 8-week program. If you're a walker, choose the walking plan. If you're a jogger, choose the jogging plan. And if you're a runner, maybe you really want to run the race for time. You want to show off to your friends and family that, hey, I can do this a little faster than you. That's fine. Join the runner plan. And so if you follow along with our training, it's a couch to 5K or couch to 1 mile idea. So it's a very gradual progression of training. It's all about increasing your cardiorespiratory fitness, which we know improves our health. It reduces all-cause mortality. It reduces our risk of chronic disease. And when families train together and stay healthy and fit together, they continue to do it generation after generation. In Louisiana, we like to pass down recipes to each other, right? And some of those recipes aren't so healthy, but we can take on a new tradition with our families and we can start walking together. We can buy pedometers, we can create challenges internally. Hey, you know, I did 5,000 steps today. How many did you do? Oh, well, I did 10,000. And keep motivating each other to move more.
Well, sounds like a great thing to do. So if in fact, do you have to register to get to the training website though?
No,
Okay.
you can simply go
So
online.
that's the community information open. So if you truly weren't able to be there for the 26th, but did want to start walking from the couch to a 5K, you could really learn and use the Pennington site as an education tool.
Yeah, free
Okay.
tools. We have not only the training plans, but we also have a steps to miles conversion. So if you do start to wear a pedometer daily, you can say, okay, I did 500 steps. Well, how far is that? All right, well, that's about 1/4 of a mile, etc. And so you can follow along with our conversion chart. You may also want to find more information about exercise. You know, how do I warm up? How do I stretch? Other activities, what does it mean, easy pace or fast pace walking? What does it mean to do interval training? And so we have all of that information on our website, free for the community.
Good, good. So tell us again how we can get to your website.
Sure, www.pbrc.edu/docs-, and simply visit us there or on our Facebook page. We also have a Docs- Facebook page. We'd love for you to like the page and follow us each week. We are rolling out a celebrity in the community that is training with us, so you can see what they're doing to improve their fitness as well.
Good, good. So Pennington serves a very, very critical role in our community as a beacon for research. So oftentimes people will say, well, what can I get engaged in? What else can I get involved in? So would you please share with our viewership some of the opportunities that they may have to participate as a research?
Right, if you want to be a participant in one of our research trials, we probably have one for you online. I suggest that you go to www.pbrc.edu, click on our clinical trials button and see what studies may fit your goal or your needs. When you go through our clinical trials list, you can simply take a quiz and it'll instantly tell you if that study is right for you. If you do qualify, one of our recruiters will call you back and give you more information about the trial. So that's one way to find out about our studies. Just go to our website, www.pbrc.edu, or you can simply call one of our recruiters at 763-3000.
Okay. Now we know that you guys have really been looking in the community for partners when it comes to diabetic research. So we know that in Baton Rouge we have more than our fair share of our citizens that have diabetes. And so if you are diabetic, please encourage you to go to the website, log in, click the clinical trials, and see if there's something there that would fit your needs. Yeah, that would be really very important as we all work on how we address the health of the community.
Yeah, and our diabetic population, our participants in our diabetes trials, are very active in some of our conferences that we have on the weekend, our men's and women's health efforts. So we have health fairs on Saturdays once a year for women in February, for men in August. And we encourage individuals to come out just like they've done each year. Go to these conferences, meet us at Docs-. We've even improved our post-race nourishment station to benefit our diabetic population and make sure that we're getting them the macronutrients they need when they cross the finish line.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, all those things are really important to add to the body of knowledge. It's how do we motivate people, though, to take that first step?
Right. I simply say, get a pedometer. There are free pedometer apps. You can buy them for very cheap. at any store or online. Wear it on your hip and just see, what am I doing? You know, how active am I? And it doesn't matter where you are today. The goal is to each day take a few more steps, and then make better choices. You know, make sure that you're eating whole grains, fruits, vegetables, lean meats, and just try to be more aware of what you're doing each day.
Because around our focus with children, you know, we promote the 5-2-1-0 plus 10. And so that 1 hour of physical activity is kind of what we've been talking about here today, but you just touched on the 5 servings of fruits and vegetables each day.
Right.
And no sugary sweetened drinks. Game time for kids, less than 2 hours a day. And of course, sleep is a very important aspect of health. And so as long as we continue to promote that family message, then, you know, hopefully it's going to catch fire.
Yes, we have 5210 signs for adults all over Pennington in every single break room to remind employees of what they're supposed to be doing on a daily basis. And 5210 plus 10 is a great initiative that we promoted last year at Doc's Dash when Mayor Holden came out to his theme song. And I just think it's a great effort that we need to continue to iterate to the next generation.
So as we wind up today, would you please share with our audience 1 or 2 things that you want to make sure that they know and take away from our program today about Doc's Dash?
I'd like for you to go to the website and check out our training plans. See what your family wants to do. Do you want to do the 1 mile? Do you want to do the 5K? And how can you cross the finish line together? What training plan is right for you? I also want you to think about all of the activities that we have. So we're going to have a farming station for children. We're going to have Breck on the Go with an obstacle course. We're going to have an interactive My Plate station with the LSU Ag Center. Our basic scientists will be out there to do science experiments with the kids. And so what do you want to pass on to the next generation when it comes to health and fitness?
Very good. Well, it sounds exciting. So please join us on September the 26th. Now, what time do we start?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. at Pennington on the grounds for an exciting day with Doc's Dash, the 2nd year.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have Dr. Tom Flynn with the NeuroMedical Center, who's going to talk to us about neurosurgery. Welcome back to Healthy Living in Baton Rouge. And Dr. Tom Flynn, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, we have an exciting opportunity. This is the first time that there's an awareness about neurosurgery from the physician's perspective. As we talk about Heart Month and Colon Month and Cancer Month, there's this focus around neurosurgery, but it's often important to put a face on the issue. And it's not so scary when you put a face on the issue. So we have got the grandfather of neurosurgery here in Baton Rouge, Dr. Tom Flynn, one of our first neurosurgeons, one of the first
Thank you.
board-certified neurosurgeons to be here in our community.
Yes.
Yes. So Dr. Flynn, you know, coming into a community of Baton Rouge, talk to us about how welcoming we are to bringing new neurosurgeons into our community.
You know, Baton Rouge has been very good at accepting specialty doctors, including neurosurgeons, and it is very much aware of the expertise of these doctors that come into the community, and people want to stay here for care. And we've been very fortunate to build a group of neurosurgical specialists in this community, in fact the largest in the Southeast. So Baton Rouge has been a very good community for building neurosurgical practice.
So we've been able to, you and your team have been able to grow this group of neurosurgeons. Tell us a little bit more about the neurosurgeons that you have in your practice.
Yes, when we started in the 1970s, there were 2 neurosurgeons here, and I hasten to add board-certified neurosurgeons. For decades, neurological surgeons have been general neurosurgeons. In this day and age, we mostly subspecialize, and although For a long, long time, 75% of a neurosurgeon's practice has been in spine surgery and 25% in intracranial or brain surgery. Still, most of us came up in a time where we did a little bit of everything. That is really not true any longer. And in our center, we do have 10 neurosurgeons who specialize in various parts of neurological surgery, such as complex spine surgery or aneurysm surgery, surgery of the brain tumors. And there is that tendency now to concentrate in one area or the other.
So used to be you had the general surgeon and the general neurosurgeon, but now you've got specialists within the specialty group themselves.
That's correct. When I came along, we did a little bit of everything, but it is obviously advantageous for a doctor, particularly in certain areas such as aneurysm surgery, brain tumor surgery, and certain operations on the spine, to concentrate in that area and have a higher volume of patients with those problems.
Right. I guess what's important for the community to know is that we have a full complement of neurosurgeons, not like many major cities here in the state of Louisiana. And so it's important for people to know that you could have care close to home.
Yes, our neurosurgeons within the Department of Neurosurgery, which is 10 neurological surgeons, within that department are experts in every area of neurological surgery that exists. And there is very little, if any, reason for a patient to have to go out of town to seek specialty care. It is rare for us to have to refer outside of the community.
So I know that for teaching purposes or something, we affiliate with different universities, and so we may work with other universities when it comes to.
Yes, to a certain extent, but people in Baton Rouge are very fortunate in that we have a larger patient volume here than we do in any other city in the state. And we therefore have a large patient volume for the doctors to see patients with different illnesses.
Well, this is dating us from the 70s, because I remember when it was just you and that other neurosurgeon here in town is what we had. Technology has changed so much through the years, and we now have access to such great different tools and machines and bells and whistles. What's stayed the same about neurosurgery, and then share with us what's different?
The one thing that stayed the same is the absolute critical need for the neurosurgeon to be acquainted with and know his patients and understand his patients and their whole area of problems. It is very essential that they stay up to date on technology because it has gotten very complicated. And in the operating room now, the areas of virtual pinpoint of areas in the brain has gotten to the point where it is essential for the doctors to stay up to date with those technologies, such as intraoperative MRI assistance. There are very few operations now that don't involve some form of technology, and it is very essential for the doctors to keep up to date on that. When I came along back in the 70s, you were more or less flying by the seat of your pants compared to today. Not that that was necessarily bad for the patients, but nowadays the doctors go into that operating room with tools that allow them to address a problem very specifically and know ahead of time where they're going, particularly with intracranial surgery. And we do have the tools now to do that.
So when you talk about intraoperative MRI, for the people, in our audience may not know what that is. Would you explain what an intraoperative MRI is?
Yeah, that can be a little bit misleading, and I don't want to dwell on that, but what the doctors have in the operating room are the results of examinations of the patient with an MRI machine. And the products of that examination, the actual MRI machine is not in the operating room here. It is the products of that examination which allow them to pinpoint very precisely areas in the brain during surgery, and they are guided by that information to those areas.
So that when they actually go in and remove something, they know exactly where to go.
Yes. It's called stereotaxis, which is a tongue twister, but it allows for three-dimensional imaging approach to the brain and very precise without damaging adjacent tissues or structures.
So, neurosurgeons also take care of patients not just while they're in the operating room, right?
Hopefully, yes. Yes, they do.
So how, let's talk about how that has changed over time. In other words, like taking care of patients, are there more therapies on outpatient? Are people living longer, so we have more things we still need to do?
Yes, I think one of the things that's changed over the years is that the population is aging. And we do see and treat patients in later decades that we would never have subjected to major surgery in years past. And we can do it with good results. And the doctors now follow these patients a lot more. Neurological surgeons used to come in the operating room, do their surgery, and then out of the picture. That is not any longer the case. The doctors follow the patients and structure their postoperative care, whatever it may be, whether it's rehabilitation or some other form of postoperative follow-up.
Mm-hmm. So when most of the people in our community hear the term neurosurgery, it's very scary. It's very scary.
My favorite comment to the doctors at the clinic is that there's nobody out there in that waiting room that wants to be there. So you have to understand that you're starting from a benchmark of people who are literally terrified. Neurological surgery has gotten to the point where it should not be that scary. Even though there are very few neurosurgeons. There are only about 2,800 board-certified neurosurgeons in the entire United States, and they're not large in number. But people do develop problems that require that specialized care, and neurosurgeons, for the most part now, are a lot more comforting to patients and know a lot more about them than was formerly the case.
Mm-hmm. And so sometimes, the scary part, if we're talking about from the physician's perspective, because we highlight Neurosurgery Month, from the doctors, you guys get called in without knowing anything about a patient. You get a call from an emergency room that says this person's had a stroke or a bleed or a head injury, and you walk into a family situation and you don't have a relationship with that patient. How does that make you feel, and what is it that you do to make sure that you bridge that you talk about that?
The absolute essential thing that a neurosurgeon has to do is give information to the families in an understandable way and spend time with them. And it is essential that they do that and that the patients understand what his job is and why he is there and what he can or cannot do for them. One of the big problems today in all medicine, and particularly in neurosurgery, is simply a patient and their family's understanding of what is possible and what is not possible, and expectations.
Yeah, because we all hold on to hope, that things can get better or it will be different. And so those are sometimes hard conversations that you all may be in a position to have with people.
Yeah, unfortunately, in terms of trauma and other emergent situations, the families have not had time, nor the patient, to prepare for what is in front of them. It's not like a chronic illness or something, and it is very upsetting to the patients and their families, and they have to be given time to understand what's going on. But that's part of the neurosurgeon's job.
Mm-hmm. And so how do you all prepare these new guys coming out to do this? Because it's very, very difficult. And so they've been technologically trained. They're very good in their trainings. But how do you teach and coach them the other side?
Well, it is difficult for a young man who's just spent 7 to 8 years in training to transition to private practice. And one of the things that we do is actually provide a mentoring process for these young doctors when they come into practice because they are not used to dealing one-on-one themselves with the patients. And so it is good in a group practice such as ours, such as the NeuroMedical Center. The other neurosurgeons are there to support them, And we usually assign one neurosurgeon to mentor the younger neurosurgeon and help him along. And it is, I'm glad you brought that up, because it is a process that they must go through. They're not residents anymore. They are on the front line, and they have to understand how to deal with families and patients.
And so, Dr. Flynn, as we wrap up our time together and highlight, our awareness around Neurosurgery Month, what is it that you would like to leave with our community here about neurosurgery?
That neurosurgery is a very complex specialty that we have within the NeuroMedical Center. Neurosurgeons who are expert in all areas of treatment of the brain and spine, and that patients should be open to listening to these doctors and their recommendations.
Well, thank you very much for your years of service, and we are a healthier community because of you and your contributions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we want to share with you now what's coming up over the next month. So for more information about health screenings or programs within the community, if you go to our website, healthybr.com, you can see a listing of what's coming up. Also, if you go to our website, you can see all of our previous programs that have been taped. And so if there's something that sparked your interest, or now you're faced with a question or a situation and know that we've covered it in the past, you can always go to the website and pull up that program. The Red Stick Farmers Market continues every Saturday morning downtown. That's the Main Street Market. The mobile farmers market is on hiatus, which means that we're going to be taking a break until the end of August before we go back on the road. The heat from the summer and the rain has caused us to take a break with the farmers. But every Saturday morning you can get your fresh and healthy downtown, starting at 8 o'clock, and it goes till noon. Don't forget, we heard from Melissa about the Docs Dash on September the 26th, and so you need to go to their website and sign up if you and your family want to participate with that. We've started a community newsletter, so you can visit our Facebook page and sign up for that. Andy and the team do a great job of highlighting our partners and what's going on all the time across the community. So please log in and sign up on Facebook. And you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram by visiting our website at healthybr.com. That's all we have for this month. As we get back to school, please make sure that you're following the speed signs, and there are amazing children at play, so slow it down.